Good day, everyone. This is Rich, and in today's video, we are going to discuss if you can't beat them, join them. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. So it's been well over a year since Reddit and Quora started taking over the Google search ranks, and it's been a process to figure out why, and it's been a process to figure out how we can get involved with that. So we're not going to bend the knee to Reddit. We're not going to bend the knee to Google.
Do not bend.
We're going to do our own thing. And that's what I've been doing on one of my sites. And I've seen some success. And I want to share it with you and see if it's possible for you to go down this path. So before social media, forums was a great way to create user-generated content. And people would run to these forums, create accounts, and display all the information they could about a certain topic, whether it was about weight loss, their car, maybe a computer issue, poker, or whatever it might be. So eventually, after a while, social media came in and started creating its own user-generated content. Meanwhile, forums started getting a little bit more spammy by means of spammers coming in, creating false posts, creating just links and things like that. So eventually Google said, these forums are no good. Let's move them to the back burner, and we won't really use them in our search ranks anymore. So if you had a forum, you had a community, and then eventually it could have gotten squashed because you just didn't get any traffic to it. However, there's still communities out there, forums out there that people still go to, but it just doesn't drive as much traffic as it used to until now, when Reddit, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest forum out there, has now taken over search ranks. And we've discussed this multiple times on the channel, and it's become really annoying. So what I wrote was, if you can't beat them, join them.
Mortimer, we're back.
Right? And this is my search. And look what's number 2. It says that saying, right? So everything is discussed. You got Reddit. Even on the top here, we have the images, videos. You have forums now. So if you click on forums, you have Reddit, Quora, and then you get all kinds of other different types of forums. So what I decided to do with one of my sites, and unfortunately I can't share that with you today, is create a forum on your site. If you have any bit of traffic or you have any bit of authority, it's worth creating a forum on your site. Now, here's the one big negative of forums. Creating the forum itself is one thing, but getting traffic to it and actually getting users, this is what makes it very difficult. I just want to be upfront about that, because that is the hardest part. To get users involved, you might need to use some people to kind of start generating content, and eventually if people can come in, maybe market it to a point where you have to pay per click to get users to your forum to build up that traffic. Because over time, if you build up good conversations, guess what? You can rank. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by what it takes to create. You could just go down certain keywords, and the whole point of this is to discuss how to figure out how to get into the search engines in a certain location, which will help you get more traffic.
There's always wanting more.
Okay, so the point of this is to get into the featured snippet on the search ranks on the page 1 of Google, no matter what the keyword is, as long as there's a featured snippet. And it's very, very easy to figure out if it does. You can do this naturally, or you can use Ahrefs, and I'm going to show you both. So if you just think of some keywords that you want to look up. So example, I can type in best insurance companies, right? And up the top, you have your typical, major posters like MarketWatch, NerdWallet, and they have Reddit. Okay, so you scroll down, but here you go. You got the discussions and forums. The discussions and forums is the featured snippet that you're trying to get into. Now, here's the first point. If you just see Reddit or Reddit or Reddit Quora or
yeah, BuzzFeed linked to us, now we're picking up on Reddit,
whatever it may be, this is your best scenario for getting into this particular discussion in forums featured snippet. If it already has someone in there, which I'll show you at some point, other than Reddit or Quora, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But here you have a Quora with 5 answers 14 years ago. You have a much better chance of getting into this discussion in forums, which is the best insurance companies, that's pretty strong keyword. Now it's going to take some work to get there, and I'm not just saying go spam a forum and create forum posts that just say best auto insurance companies and just spam and spam. I'm just talking about create a good conversation about it, and maybe you'll get pulled into the discussion in forums. Now you need to have an authority site in that kind of space. I wouldn't say if you have something about weight loss, you start talking about insurance. Not a good idea. That will never rank. You might get lucky, but I doubt it. So you have other things like I just did this literally in 5 minutes. Is it top PC motherboards? I think it was. Let me see. Sorry, I can't see my format here. And you have, Tom's Hardware, PC Gamer, and then you get the discussion in forums. So here, PC Part Picker. Here's an example of another site other than Quora and Reddit in there. So this is going to be a more difficult area to get into the discussion in forums snippet because PC Part Picker is a strong site, a very high authority site, and it'll be difficult to outsmart these two, nonetheless this one. Okay, so then I said best workout for abs. Okay, so you have workouts, right? So here you go, scroll down, you have some videos, and down here you have Reddit, Quora, Reddit. Okay, so this is from 5 months ago. So if you have an exercise site, let's say it's about, abs, and you have the authority in abs, you want to look up everything ab related in the search engine to see if you can create a forum post about that particular keyword. And like I said, you don't want to just spam it, but you want to create a good conversation about it. And maybe you'll get some of the lower hanging fruit or the long tail keywords. Maybe not best workout for abs, but like here's an example, best workout routine for abs, or you can get best workout for abs in 10 minutes or something like that. You got to think outside the box. You got, it can't just always be the exact keywords that's got like 50,000 visitors a month type of thing. You got to think outside that and try to kind of really bring it in. This is not obviously this is not a video about creating a forum. I want to just chime in and say you can use things like Discourse or vBulletin, which is old school but still works because that's what I'm using, and I think I paid $175 for it. I don't really remember. It's kind of like archaic, doesn't work as well in terms of like, it works very well, don't get me wrong, but it's more of a process of setting it up. Almost feels like Windows 98 kind of. It's gotten way better. It's what I used to use in like 2004. It's gotten way better since then, of course, but it's still not like the easiest thing to update. And, it's nothing's automatic. You got to kind of dig in the back end and you have to have a little bit more skill. It does work. And it's obviously ranking for me. And that's why I'm creating this video. So continue on. So we have that type of thing. Okay, so here I can type in forum software. Okay, so you've read it at first, obviously, and then discussions and forums. And here you got three different ones. You have Reddit, of course. You have Online Go Forum and Squarespace Forum from 4 years ago. So millions of keywords have the discussion and forums featured snippet. Is this always the case? No. They don't always have a featured snippet. So the key is to figure out which keywords do have the discussion and forums featured snippet, because you're not going to get tons of traffic. People aren't necessarily going to click on this, but that's why I'm doing the video, because I noticed, I'm like, how am I getting this traffic? I'm not ranking for these keywords. Well, guess what? I'm ranking in this featured snippet for certain keywords. And the more posts I create, the more chances I have for getting traffic. And what's happening on the forum is I'll create a post about it and people will message and start talking about it, whatever it may be, and so on, like tours, like whatever it might be. It could be about like plane tickets. It could be about, it doesn't matter. If it's something that can be discussed, it could show up in the featured snippet. Okay, so if you have Ahrefs, this is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens. Right over here.
Because it's much easier to discover keywords this way, using the featured snippet, than it is to just go one by one. So the good news is Reddit's starting to, level out here a little bit. I did a video where it dropped off here and then it rose again, and now it's kind of dropping off a bit. I think they're trying to pull some of the Reddit stuff out. I really do. You can see they're in the top 3. They've dropped 227,000 keywords out of the top 3 search results. But this doesn't really have anything to do with the featured snippet. This is more about overall keywords search. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out the keywords, kind of dig in and see what we can find in terms of the featured snippets. So if you have a site about working out or bodybuilding, I mean, this is crazy. They almost have 100 million keywords in ranks. Okay, so this shows everything. And the cool thing about Ahrefs is if you're new to it, that's one thing. It's expensive. I have a video about it, but it does do great stuff. There's a lot of value here. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper. Is to kind of dig in and figure out what keywords have the featured snippets. So all you have to do is hit search SERP features, and if you're familiar about the snippets, the local pack, the site links, tops, all this stuff. All you have to do is select discussion and forums, okay, and hit apply. And once you hit apply, you still have that, and then hit show results. Look how many still show up. It takes a second. 25 million, if not 26 million keywords are showing up here. Now, they like to show everything, but it's these little categories here, these little, tags that say discussion and forums. Now, I don't then dig in a little bit further because I can't look through 26 million. Let's say I have a site about working out, like I said. We'll do a keyword and we'll type in workouts, okay? Apply that, and now we have 11 million, and then you have all the featured snippets that show up, okay? So if we click, I'm not going to click on this, but if I say kettlebell workouts has 31,000 volume, if we go over to our search and we type it in and we go kettlebell workouts, you can see here we have the discussions and forums. And again, this is one of those ones where you have Reddit, you have this other site, Strong First, and Apple support communities, which is really interesting. Like, how did Apple? I guess they do have a community for their Apple Fitness Works Out. So I'm just going to go through the keywords. This is on using Ahrefs. I'm able to just kind of go through anything I want. I type in this, I hit show results, and I'm looking at how to invest in real estate. And you have a few things here. You have how to invest in real estate with no money. Okay, so it's position 4. So let's go over here. We'll go to our search. We'll type it in. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just doing it this way because just to show you. So you have Reddit, Quora, Bigger Pockets. If you have a site about real estate or loans or whatever, you have a potential to get into the SERPs. So here's another one I had. And this kind of might not be the last example, but maybe one of them is how to buy gold, right? Like, that is searched heavily. So if you go to show results on Reddit, and they have Reddit, so you have how to buy gold from Costco. These, you remember, you were looking for the ones with the search, the featured snippet. So you have the little tag here, discussion and forums. So how to buy gold online, 300. How to buy gold for investment, and so on and so forth. So if we could type it, if we go by volume, let's see what it gives us here.
I love gold.
How to buy gold bars. Okay, so how to buy gold bars. Do you want to buy gold bars? Maybe. Let's go to here. This is just to show you how it shows in Ahrefs and how it shows on the search. Okay, so it's at the closer to the bottom. You have Core, Reddit, and Core. So this is an example of if you have a site about gold or you have a site about investing or whatever, you have your forum, you create a post about how to buy gold, and then you hopefully build your community can build around that and develop a good discussion, and eventually could show up on this featured snippet. Now, it's not always going to be the case. Now, remember, I might type how to buy gold bars, but someone might type how to gold bars in Canada or something like that. And if you have those keywords in your discussion, you're more likely to show up in the snippet than some of the others. Okay. I haven't seen much fluctuation in this. It's very hard to get into it. I have a site that has probably 2,000 forum posts, and I have about 300 in the featured snippets. Now, they don't get tons of traffic by any means. Some of them don't get anything, but they're there, which is kind of cool. It's they're terms that I'm not going to create a whole page for, and I'm creating the forum post. And the low-hanging stuff doesn't necessarily need a second poster, so to speak. I don't need a second person discussing what I put in there, because maybe I'm just making an announcement. If I make an announcement that covers a keyword and people search for that same announcement or similarity of that, that can get ranked versus something that has to be discussed fully. That will give you better authority, and people might hang around and actually sign up for your forum versus just making an announcement post. So there's all kinds of variations to take advantage of a forum in terms of getting in that featured snippet. But if you don't have a forum, it's definitely something you want to consider. I recommend going through the process of finding the best forum software. If you want to contact me about this in more in depth, we can discuss it. Leave a comment below to ask me what I did in more detail, and I'll provide as much as I can. I do not want to discuss the site or anything like that on here, but I do plan on creating another site, and I think it might be like a top-level domain forum on a particular industry, to see if I can build that out. Now, it won't have authority, and it's going to take some time. But, when you do, I don't want to compete with Reddit, but if you have something particular, I think forums have really made a comeback.
People love comebacks.
There's no sense of not trying to go down that path until something changes. User-generated content is where it's at. And if we can create something that's valuable to users searching for something, why not try it? And then you can, monetize it by, whether it's ads or affiliate marketing, whatever. But there's a lot of things you can go over here. I just wanted to share, how you can get in there. You'll be page one. You might your information, your articles might never rank, but you can get in there on the forum, which will drive your traffic, and that's the key here. You're trying to drive traffic to your overall site. No guarantees, that. And so that sums it up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. I'll probably do another follow-up video on all this and see how things are going with my particular site or any other sites I do this path with. But let me know if you have a forum. I'm no problem willing to sign up and discuss on your forum and help you drive traffic to it. And maybe do it for me, whatever. And we can go and see what happens next. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you in the next video.